And then he brought some students down to the Steel Pier to what was then the Daddy Dave Review. And then when Daddy Dave retired or whatever, Tony Grant took it all over. And in the early years, it was not like we knew it with always different acts. Every week had a different theme to the show, and they produced, totally different type of shows. And if you get in touch with anybody that was on his show, like in the 50s or early 50s, it was very different from the way that you and I would have known it.
Yeah.
My brother Mike auditioned for him, I guess in '63 or something. And I think you knew Mike for a couple of years, I think.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. You guys kind of looked similar, and that's why I saw when I saw you. I'm thinking, did I know Mike or I know Chris? Or I think I knew you both, but
Well, you knew me both, but Mike actually worked backstage. I was backstage from like '72 to '78.
yeah.
But Mike was backstage and knew you and Steve K and all like that. Maybe like 67, 68 to 70.
Yeah, right, 69. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
71, whatever.
it's your brother we ragged on.
Yeah.
Me and Steve did Junior, and your brother Mike who did Tony Senior in the morning, and we would always just rag on him, make fun. I don't know. I mean, we were just mean, I guess.
Yep.
Is Mike still around?
Yeah, he's at WFAE radio in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I wonder if he would take a call from me.
I'm sure he would.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll get his contact you. I mean, because I'm going to hook up with Steve K. I'd love to do like him, Steve, and me, the three of us on a Zoom call, and just, I mean, I remember your brother saying, "Why don't you two son of a bitches go on the beach? You're white as ghosts." It's like, oh,
yeah.
Oh man, but what? It's just, they were just interesting.
I mean, all the years that I was working up there, I went home at the end of the summer white as a ghost.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, I remember Tony Senior calling us in, early before Junior got there, and he said to me and Steve, he said, "What do you guys do? Like, I mean, why you should go to the beach and enjoy the beach." It's like,
yeah,
we don't really want to go to the beach. It's like, no, you go to the beach. And then the next day we went to the beach, and Steve and I are on the beach, and we're just dancing, screaming from the beach up at the theater, Tony, we're on the beach.
Yeah.
I wish we had smartphones we could record this stuff, but it's only storytelling,
And that's what so many people now have said, that back then we didn't take as many pictures because you had to wait for film to be developed and everything else. And if we had smartphones back in the day, I mean, I would have been taking pictures all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's a whole new world now.
Yeah, I mean, there's my younger son is a animation producers with Luma out in LA, and they do I mean, the technology he's working on is just incredible, and you can take still photos now and actually animate them or make them move. So even taking like still photos of performers and then animating them out and adding music or song, or even, I mean, this could go from 65,000 to 160, but then animate those acts out with some of the current the performers and the current age as they are right now, singing or something. Right. That's why with Robert Brown, it would be interesting to be able to take his pictures and then have him sing today what he sang back then, and animate his character would be freaking hilarious. But anyway,
so my older brother Mike started performing on the pier, playing the accordion and singing back in '64. And it was a couple of years later that we did a three-brother act where he was playing the accordion, I was tap dancing, and my younger brother was singing, and we all did an act together. 66, 67.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And your younger brother still around? What's he do?
My younger brother works for Disney ABC,
Oh, well, East Coast, West Coast.
New York. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
I mean, he really works for ABC, but Disney,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow.
So
Oh man.
that was
Well,
another lifetime ago.
yeah. What's your younger brother's name?
Patrick.
Patrick. That's great, man. Oh, that's great.
So yeah, we didn't act together for a while, and then starting in like 71 up to like 78, I was running the backstage.
Yeah.
The first time there was one year in the summer of 72, there was a big flood. I think it was a hurricane up in Scranton or Wilkes-Barre. Tony
Yep.
Jr.'s house got flooded,
Yeah.
and he had to go home. And Tony Sr. approached me about doing the evening shows, which took me aback. Like, you're really gonna trust this kid to take over your,
Yeah.
But so he trusted me to do a couple shows, and as nervous as I was the first time out, I was like hooked. I I could have done it from then on.
Yeah.
But and then, as you know, I think it was like 1975. They had a big hurricane on the pier, and the Midway Theater got destroyed.
Right.
Then we spent the rest of that summer in what was supposed to be the Casino movie theater, and nothing was really the same.
Yeah.
So then they were trying to redo everything, and the next year we were supposed to be in a big fancy theater, but of course it wasn't finished on time. So we ended up in June and the beginning of July being back in the Golden Dome Ballroom doing shows, which was not conducive to that type of show at all.
No. No.
And then later we moved into the Little Theater,
Yeah.
which back in your day was like the streets of Hong Kong.
Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah.
But ironically, that's where the whole thing started out when the Daddy Dave was there. It's full circle.
Yeah. Full circle.
But from like 75 to 78, I was emceeing the evening shows. I started out just doing one show a day because Tony Sr. had cut back at that point to doing only one show a day, and then I did the afternoon show, and then Tony Jr. did the 2 evening shows.
Okay.
And then the last couple of years on the pier, Tony Jr. did not come on at all for whatever reason. So I was doing all the shows after Tony Sr. finished.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's a whole other side that you probably don't want to go into, which is the personal side and relationship with Tony Sr. and Tony Jr. and
Yeah. Yeah, I'll let that come from if in fact they want to bring that relationship
Yeah,
up.
because-
I knew it was pretty tense, and I don't know why and what's the history.
well, there was good times and there was bad blood too, and and that's why sometimes people in the family, like even Beth Ravelli, who's the niece that was not that close to Roxy and Debbie, and because Topsy was not Tony Jr.'s real mother. So there's just a lot of stuff, but that's not really where the focus should be for this.
Yeah, right. I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. And that's where someone who, which is nice about me being involved in it, because another producer or director would say, "Oh, we got to go into that because that's
Right.
that's the meaty stuff." And no, that's not what this is about. Yeah, I want to try and stay on the upside of this.
But as you know, Tony Sr. and Tony Jr. had very different personalities. And Tony Sr. was more of a old school, real impresario or showman,
Right.
And I feel like Tony Jr. was much more laid back and
Yeah. Yeah. He just did his thing for doing his thing.
exactly.
Made a couple bucks. Yeah.
And I got close to both of them. I mean, I was actually a pallbearer at both of their funerals.
Wow.
So, I was there at the end. I was a pallbearer at Topsy's funeral too.
Wow.
It's just like, and one of the worst memories I have on the pier is getting a phone call, and I drove Tony Sr. home from the pier the day his wife died.
What year is that? What year was that, Chris? Do you remember?
Probably maybe like 75 or 7, I think.
Okay.
Maybe 76. I'm not sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was the one, for some reason, that let him know that she had passed, and drove him back home. And then, of course, we actually had a day or so with no shows on the pier on the day of her funeral. So that was one of the dark sides.
Right.
But most of my time there was probably the best years of my life. You think back then, I mean, of course, an 18-year-old guy with meeting lots of young girls, and dance teachers and their mothers, and it was a whole. And of course, there was a lot more girls than there was guys. So, I have mothers coming up to me, daughters coming up to me, and it kind of made me feel like I was more than I was.
Yeah.
But
well, but look at you. I don't think that. Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, me and Steve, it was like I'm getting messages. Do you remember me from like Meg? I mean, she said, "Oh my God, I was backstage. I worked, the backstage with Roxy and da 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 da."
Yeah.
Remember? No.
Yeah.
No. I said, let me just ask you before I start. Did I do anything that was, inappropriate? And there was some silence. I said, wait, what's the silence? No, you were fine. You were fine. You were a character. I said, oh God.
Yeah. But when I first started that Facebook group trying to find people out there, everyone that I first found was always asking, whatever happened to Steve K? Whatever happened to Denny Bush? And at one point, someone got a message from either your son or Steve's son or something saying they don't want to be found. Leave them alone.
No, I'll tell you the story behind that. It was my son who was an actor. Like I say, he's an actor, and he didn't tell me.
He's the one of the Goldbergs, right?
Yeah, he's one of the Goldberg.
Yeah.
One of the JTPs, Matt Bush.
Yeah.
And I mean, when was this, in 2013?
Something like that, yeah.
2013. Yeah, I mean, I was still like an executive and all this stuff. And I guess he assumed that, this is your past, your life. Who knows?
Right.
That might come out to haunt you. I mean, that was his thinking. Once I realized, and I asked him, I mean, this was when I joined up on the Facebook. I mean, I retired, 5 years ago, and now I'm doing what I enjoy. I have no stress. Well, no stress from what I was doing before, and just doing all kinds of things in entertainment now. And that's what I said to him. Why didn't you tell me? He said, you were really high strung, and anyway. So that was the whole story. So
yeah, but there was lots of girls reliving their youth and asking. Probably the two, you and Steve, had the most people asking whatever happened to you.
Yeah.
From that era.
Yeah, from that era. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because I was there 66 to 71. The summer 71 was my last summer.
But it's also amazing how many people who were performers on the show have since that time either opened dance studios of their own or have done other things very similar.
Right. And that may be a common. Again, I don't know, and certainly I want to hear more about you because I think Don has said, "Oh, you told Chris, extremely successful businessman, extremely successful in what you have done." And I don't know. Maybe that's what comes out of this too. I'm not sure people are going to sit and watch a documentary where there's 4 or 5 people that were on the pier and opened successful dance studios. Yeah. But 1 or 2 would probably be kind of cool.